This is the chairman and the artist, where vision meets creation. Let's talk.
I gotta check my calendar. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. We're doing Mr. Chairman and the Artist. We're driving back from the last tattoo convention in Tucson. Today, I get to interview and hang out and drive back with Bert Rodriguez. And Mr. Bert is going to be talking to us and driving, so you can't look at the camera, okay? So we're just going to hear him out. And feel free to yell out, Bert. Bert. But first, we're going to find out a little bit of his history and stuff. Where were you born, Bert?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. California. At what age did you decide to get into tattooing? How did you encounter tattooing?
I got my first tattoo when I was 17. And from that point on, I knew it was something that was really intriguing and I really wanted to do. But
How did you how did you acquire back in the day the equipment? Was it easy
no,
or how did you go about it?
I got a few tattoos from Davy Jones, who was tattooing at Lyle Tuttle in his shop there in San Francisco. And shortly after that, I went into the military. I got done with my basic training. I came back and got a couple more tattoos and asked him about the interest I had in tattooing. Gave me the address of Carol and Joe and said,
And this is back what years? 1960.
the end of 1960. But I got a power supply, I think 3 colors. Even three and about a half a dozen popular acetate stencils and the charcoal powder.
And
So I've rock and roll.
how often were you tattooing when you started? Was it like on a daily thing or?
No, usually for 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days after payday on the 1st and the 15th when we got paid in the military.
Oh, so you were in the military
Tattooing people off my bunk.
and in the military, how long were you tattooing in there then?
I tattooed until I got to my permanent station, which was in Death Valley, Fort Irwin, California, in the middle of Death Valley.
Oh,
I tattooed there a little bit, but after a couple of months, one of the sergeants, I didn't want to tattoo him because he was drunk. And so he made a big fuss and I made me send my equipment home.
damn.
Yeah.
If you would have tattooed him, you could have been on the good grace, huh?
Yeah. But I know. I sent my stuff home. I took it home actually on a weekend and sold it to Lyle Tuttle for he promised that when I got out he'd sell it back to me.
Lyle Tuttle was tattooing already at the time, or he was?
He was the only tattooer in San Francisco.
Oh man, I got to meet Lyle Tuttle. A very interesting character, very cool storyteller. You
He's definitely one of the main building blocks of tattooing, modern tattooing. The years we became pretty good friends, but when I first opened up on Mission Street, he used to call Davy Jones over in Oakland and ask him how the Mexican up on the hill was doing.
he had Mexican jokes. I tell you that, motherfucker. He had no problems telling me Mexican jokes. He used to tell me shit too when I met him, and he had no problems dishing it out.
Well, yeah.
and uh, and so you, Lyle Tuttle, and who's the other guy? Davy Jones.
Davy Jones he bought Oakland Jake Shop and everything. He was over in Oakland for quite a while. they sold the building, and he had to leave Oakland a few years later. He came to work for me up in the city up on Mission Street. He used to take the BART over.
So, how many years were you tattooing in your career of tattooing, and then you decided, I'm gonna put together a tattoo convention thing? How did that come around? Or how do you fucking put that together? Or at least you don't have to give it the whole trade secret, but how do you come up with the idea? Or
It was just a bunch of friends talking about it. The guys at the shop, Vince, my friend Sergio, who was from Mexico, was working for me. Uh, a good friend of ours, Uncle Mark, who was a musician, a blues player, just talked it out and decided it would be worth trying. We rented a hotel lobby and and had the first one in I believe it was 1990, if I'm not mistaken.
1990?
Yeah,
And this was in Santa Rosa, right?
yeah.
Santa Rosa. And what was the name of the convention at the time? Or did it
Tattoos and blues.
Tattoos and Blues? So, homie, the other homie was into the blues. So he's
He supplied all the music.
okay.
We used to hire most of our bands from the Blues Society.
And you're also a big blues fan, right?
Yeah,
So how long did that one run? That convention?
it's still going on.
It's still going on. Damn.
But this year was the 37th, I think, or something like that.
And so you had your shop in California. You got your convention going, and then in the 2000s you ended up in Tucson,
But
in Tucson, Arizona, and the
yeah, I moved to Tucson for a couple of years. Uh, and I actually opened up a shop there downtown on Pennington Street with John Cameron. Before that, we worked for Dennis Dwyer for a couple of months. That was a lot of fun. And we opened up our own shop. The only problem was that they were starting construction on lawn rigs to the downtown area. So it just kind of died out for everybody downtown. We didn't stay too long, a couple of years out there. Decided to come back to California. It's just too hot.
oh yeah, Tucson can get hella hot, man. So also now that we kind of explain a little bit of your career and a little bit of your tattoo ex convention. What do we call yours? Convention or expos? What would be the right term? Oh, tattoos and blues. That's what you.
Started off as a tattoo show.
Oh, okay.
It's the place for people to get tattooed by different artists they normally wouldn't be able to get hold of. Uh, we didn't have the internet and all that stuff that have access to the media like we do now. Good way to meet new people and also the customers have the opportunity to get tattooed by all these wild and woolly people.
What about when it comes to what was I gonna say? I noticed that you had a mic lady. How did you meet her? What's her name? Billy. How did you meet Bad Billy?
She, she was my apprentice.
Oh, she was your apprentice,
Yeah.
and then she became also the mic lady on the at the shows, right?
Now she's had a growing shop in Healdsburg, California for probably more than 20 years now. And
Yeah.
she worked for everybody. She worked for Lyle Tuttle for a while. She worked for Henry Wolfield.
I mean, the pigments, they can only come out with so many colors.
Somebody told me that they had saw an advertisement actually for well color. You know, they're gonna get it so it's an average to old school tattoo artist can't even know how to get the tattoo anymore. Everything's all automated. Pretty soon they're gonna have a machine. You'll just punch in your artwork and then stamp it out for you.
Yeah, yeah. You know what I noticed? It's hella hard even for me to stay up with the Joneses or You know, switch from my traditional, we can say, fucking tattooing with a coil, now using a rotary and having to teach myself because you have to kind of learn again. You have to learn this new tool. You have to learn how to make it work with you. So, uh, also learning the new apps. They come up with new apps every fucking week. This one you can do this, and this one you can do that. It's like fuck. What happened to simple just tracing? What do you think? Do you think we can get a discount on tracing paper now? Do you think they got plenty of tracing paper?
They probably do.
That's one thing we always have to have inside the shop. A couple of extra books of tracing paper. And I don't think there's any more tracing paper being used. The light boxes, that was another fucking thing that didn't last too long. Remember when the small little light boxes came out that you could travel with? And now you can make your stencil. You can sit there and draw.
I remember in Alameda, Pinky Inn shop,
Uh huh.
the sailors had come in to get dinner. I was in there one time. And they picked a design his daughter went up there on the wall, a piece of tracing paper and a ladder. And traced that off real quick and gave it to her dad. Uh, that was how they did the stencils. They would trace it off with a stencil pencil. And that graphic pencil action. One shot,
Yeah, number two, the thermal picks it up pretty good because it's carbon based. You know, some people don't know about the carbon base when it comes to thermofacts or even know how those thermofacts work.
that,
What?
a big pencils. That kind of, they weren't very bright, the stencil.
Oh, is that the purple pencil back in the day? I remember those. I remember some of those purple pencils. There was also, I don't know if you ever used a bottle of ink and a pencil. Did you ever heard about those pencils?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh man, that was a shit. A bottle of ink and a pencil. That's and those things, man. They're so hard to get. Last time I was checking, they were going for $45 to $100 a pencil. Yeah, they're like insane, but they're badass to draw on the skin with. And so when you guys started, you had barely like tattoo equipment wasn't available, so a lot of the stuff you guys had to kind of make it yourself. Uh, like needle bars, that stuff you guys make yourselves.
Yeah, we made needle bars, made our own springs, made our own power supply. A lot of times. It wasn't that difficult. The coil tattoo machine wasn't rocket science. Getting your measurements correct and everything else is pretty much up to you.
No, it is rocket scientist because apparently a lot of people can't figure out how to tune them up, fucker.
You know how to adjust one. Shouldn't have any problem. You can do fancy revenue tattooing. Not have to mess around with that your machine all day long. But the cleaning it.
Tired of tattoo chairs that squeak, wobble, and feel like you're tattooing someone on a folding chair from 1982? Say goodbye to imported pain and hello to the Chariot Tattoo Chair, the only throne fit for an artist and their canvas. Crafted right here in the good old US of A, this chair is more American than a bald eagle riding a Harley through a fireworks show. No tariffs, no shipping delays, just pure ergonomic freedom. We're talking lumbar support that'll cradle your client's spine like it owes them money, armrests that adjust faster than your last relationship, and a 360-degree swivel that'll have you spinning like a DJ at a block party. Stop torturing your back and your client's dignity. Upgrade to the Chariot Tattoo Chair because your art deserves better than a glorified bar stool. The Chariot Tattoo Chair. Sit proud, ink loud.
Welcome to Graffiti City, your one-stop shop for graffiti supplies, From spray paint to markers, caps, and merch, we've got it all. Let's get creative. GraffitiCityNV.com.
And when Bert is not tattooing or worrying about business, what do you do for fun? What other hobbies do you do? Do you have anything you do?
I teach martial arts.
What martial arts do you teach? What's the name of it?
Sure.
Oh shit! And how long you been teaching that?
6 years.
And when you teach that, is there a little bit of contact, or how do you guys do this stuff? Explain it to me without hitting me.
It's the martial arts that was developed for protection and to win, not for sport. We have a competition and some sparring and stuff, but it's, you know, you have to be careful not to hurt your fellow student.
And who did you study this under? Who was?
My teacher was teacher Chris Jim. He's still alive, but he's getting older. He's getting older. Yeah, it's that he was a great instructor and a lot of fun.
And how long did you were you studying under him before he said you could teach this now, or how do you do that?
Maybe about 10 years.
Does he have also a lot of other students? These guys, you consider them brothers, or you consider them like, I'll kick your ass too, motherfucker?
We all get together and exchange information from time to time. I think everybody gets along good. He has students all over. Actually, got a school in Germany and down there in South America, Alaska, and a few from the U.S.
And so are you still active doing this teaching? Are you still doing in?
I teach in Sonoma County, Santa Rosa.
And how many students do you working with right now? Is it one at a time? Is it a full class, or
Class of about 10 students get together, work out, and about 76 weeks to go visit schools. Like that. Sparring techniques and information and doing so you only learn some things by getting in.
uh, and so does anybody ever take it to the next level? Is everybody disciplined enough to take a slap in the face or a kick in the groin or anything like that, or do things get violent?
Shit happens, but things don't get violent. They are violent, but nobody gets them angry.
Did you ever have a rival in that sport where you couldn't wait to meet this motherfucker so you could kick his ass, or?
People try to take my hand off.
Oh shit!
Make sure it doesn't happen.
What you do to them? They were that bad? Or that just part of the sport?
Do what you have to do.
In case you guys, I've been hanging out with Bert for a while, and I see this fucker here that's more than once a couple of people in the face, slaps them around, all kinds of mean things. And I turn around and like, why are you hitting this guy? Oh, he's one of my students. I'm testing him. And this poor guy has to smoke and take an ass whooping at the same time. But it's pretty cool to watch you guys in action. Do you plan on ever slowing down on this stuff, or you?
Yeah,
This is for life.
yeah, I dropped dead. So
That's just your quitting day. All right. Well, this means he's gonna do it till the end of his breathing days. But no, he can't drop dead because this fucker's active all the time. You practice this every day? You wake up and do your workout every day? Or what's the story there?
most of the time,
What does it consist of? Is it a long practice or?
It's basic 3 little forms that you do. Keep your body in shape. Keep your internal organs working good.
Now, did you guys also have any discipline? What do you call it? Diet? I only eat certain rice, certain noodles, or anything goes with you.
It's what everybody eats according to their own standards. I try to eat halfway healthy.
Okay, so you weren't really like stricted with strict diets by your master. Hey, you're only going to eat cucumber and lettuce for the next 3 months. None of that stuff.
Good.
What about weapons? Are you guys allowed to use any weapons? You guys ever train with weapons?
We use short swords, double short swords, and then you also use a 9 foot pole.
And what happens with that? Are you allowed to hit him, or do you guys stick a stick? Or does it all suddenly slip until you hit somebody's knuckles?
He's used to learn them, and then that's it. Because it's a demonstration. You really can't get away with carrying 9 foot pole horse and blades down the street, not get arrested, or shot.
Damn.
It's just,
Did you ever encounter anything?
those were gifts. The system that never had weapons. They were a gift to the system later because Chinese tradition says you can't have a complete system unless you have weapons.
Okay. And did you ever get into trouble when you hanging out with these tough guys fighting in the streets and stuff? Because I hear stories that you guys would fight on top of buildings in San Francisco or fight each other in the, was it in an alley or parking lot? How did these fights happen?
We used to get to practice once in a while. Uh, we lived in the city and the school was down in the center bar. Actually, we had a castle down there. Also, I was a bouncer for a while.
So you put it to use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to the family, how does that work out with your business? You're able to make time for the family, and how many kids do you have in total?
4 boys, 2 girls.
4 boys and 2 girls.
Most of them grew up in a family, so.
But hardly any of them are tattooing, right? They all chose different routes.
Yeah, they all made two different choices for marriage. All doing well.
They all made better choices.
Outdoor, doing awesome.
I know, but me being a tattoo artist,
Must be awesome.
me being a tattoo artist, I always used to hear, "Get a job, get a real job," you know.
I've heard that before too.
Oh, slow down. We got 45, 45. We're driving in the freeway on our way to Reno. We just did the Tucson Tattoo Convention. So you and John got a good little history too. The guy from Tucson that started that convention.
Yeah, he had a shop called 442 up there in Tucson. When I did the first one there, he helped me out because he was one of the older tattoo shops downtown. When I left, I came back to California. He took over the shows, and that's what we have now. It's the Tucson Tattoo Convention.
Oh shit! And there was also Tony Edwards back in the day. Did you ever hang out with Tony Edwards or?
I met him, and he was a friend. The shop, I've seen him. Actually, I saw him in San Francisco, and I saw him out here different years later. He's an excellent artist.
Did you meet him in San Francisco at the convention when it happened and by the airport? Was that it? That's when I met Tony Edwards in San Francisco.
Yeah.
There was a convention by the airport back in, I think, in 90, in 80, 88, 89? No, 90.
One of the old school tattooists from Tucson, like that. That's the Rocket Ring.
Oh, yes. Rocket Rick, man, what a character. He has some good stories. What a
He was a little bit out there crazy.
well, did you get to know him when he was young? You get to hang out with him at all?
Yeah, he's crazy for sure. I love to see him go to the shows because he dressed up like almost a tattoo pimp. Diamond rings on every finger, gold chains, and he'd wear an overcoat and spit shine shoes. Yeah, no, he was quite the character.
Yeah, I'm glad that I got to meet Rocket Rick when your grandson described Rocket Rick to me, and the first time I met him, he was dressed up, but he was dressed up different that day. And I'm like, seriously, this is the motherfucker you were telling me about? Oh, right, tomorrow he'll come back different. And yeah, then here comes Pimp Rocket Rick with bling bling everywhere.
See him pull his knife before?
Oh, I got video of him in slow motion doing the knife thing and stuff like that, you know. And I'm glad that I got to eat and share stories with Rocket Rick. Great motherfucker, you know. And I also got to hang out with Dennis Dwyer. He was a little bit difficult sometimes, you know. He could change his mind real quick. How long did you get to meet Dennis Dwyer? Did you guys get along? You and Dennis?
Yeah, for years, he used to do the conventions with Crow. That's it to him. Convention. That's
J.D. Crow is
Dennis did the sculptor show. They were great show.
so back in the day when you guys did these shows, they were pretty packed and they were very busy. Yep.
Did smaller pieces too. Real rare. People went there to make $1. They didn't come there to do a masterpiece all in one day or weekend. Yeah, a lot more extra tattooing going on.
So it was more
On customer.
so it was more for tattooing and less for competition.
Yeah, that's for sure.
When did the competition kind of started, or how did that come about? Was it like so and so's better than this guy, or
Big judges is like anywhere else. Big judges can have different categories. You enter yourself. 3 judges will pick out the one they think is the best.
and you also had competition in your shows? Was that a cool thing back in the day? Did it bring out people and
They won the trophy on
you know?
some big presenter. He did all the best overall that somebody that took for a lot of years. He had somebody to recover. As large piece may be, one piece that covered say a whole leg or rib cage, different.
Also, barely tattoo magazines were coming out already too, right? Or were the magazines came out first? You think, or did the conventions come out first?
Same time, pretty much. We had 2 magazines that come to cover a jacket working all night. And Skin and Ink and then he's big tattoo magazine. White Bill used to be the photographer. Tattoo magazines.
Yeah, I remember Wild Bill. What a cool character too. Is he still probably in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should go say hi to that fucker. Cool guy. Say, shout out to Wild Bill in Sacramento. Drives that fucking cool ass Corvette, chrome one.
Has a lot of cars. He's a collector.
Did he have 2 tattoo shops in Wild Bill, or only one that you know? Only one, right? Damn. And then also the Sacramento Tattoo Convention came out later, or was that before you guys? Way later. So you're almost like one of the pioneers, also doing conventions. Not total pioneer, but one of them.
That's the national tattoo.
Us and you and National.
We had one every year all the time.
Were you part of also National at one point, or did you ever?
Dennis and And Crow did that two tournament everything during the game up every year. There wasn't a lot of them. It was interesting.
And back in the day, was it held in casinos like they do them now, or where were these events held?
Kill?
So it wasn't something big and extravagant.
No, not really.
Was there a big line of people waiting to come in? Because I remember back in the day when we go to the Pomona show. Did you ever go to the Pomona shows?
No, but I went to the Queen Mary and I was waiting. I was waiting line to get elected. I was ready to check it out.
When did that Queen Mary started? Tell me about that one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, they did a couple of years before they stopped it. 5 minutes in the parking lot, they stopped it.
Something else?
A couple of biker groups got stopped fighting the parking lot and killing people. They had shut the whole show down.
Oh shit! Damn, I didn't know that one. I didn't. I remember hearing about the Queen Mary, and I always wanted to go, but I guess it won't happen.
You know, we were making a lot. We were making money. We worked all day Friday. And then we started off on Saturday, busy. And then boom, that's it out. They kicked everybody out.
Damn. What about at the shop? Did anybody get lippy or get stupid and all suddenly you have to fucking put your Wayne Chong to work? Or what's it called?
A couple of artists fighting, getting a fight in the tattoo trailer at one of the bike clubs. I had to break those guys up.
Well, Mexico was very, how can I say? We didn't have a lot of supplies. We didn't have no access. There was a lot of anti anti tattoo rhetoric, we can say. So
Yeah, only criminals and gangsters and people like that got tattooed in Mexico at that time.
yeah, that was
All the artists prison.
that was the main stereotype for us.
Yeah, Mario,
You know.
Mario gangs.
When I suggested to my brother that we open up a shop, that was the first stereotype that they gave us and everything. Then we had to go against that stereotype, and try to change it and make it professional. But yeah, you're right. That the supplies weren't there. It was very hard to get supplies.
They didn't have shit.
No, you're right. When you guys went earlier than when we went.
Yeah, the shops,
You know.
all the shops in Ohio,
Uh-huh.
they were all at the party on.
Uh-huh.
About the market. They're all there. There was 3 shops on one floor, and a surgeon was at a shop up like back and off in an alley, part of that building. Yeah, no, all the shops were right there.
Yeah, well, right? And that's in the early 93, 92, you know?
Yeah, I just started to bring shit down there. Them guys in the early 90s too. But the first couple of batches of shit I brought down there would take the flash home and put it on their wallet and take the inks, water them down and sell them. So they were the procedure was a little bit difficult. You know,
Yeah,
I got after a couple of them, like Wayo and Sammy and Sergio. And they finally got their shit together. Then Sammy started doing that show. Shit really picked up.
yeah. Well, Mexico, like I said,
Sergio did the first show.
oh yeah,
They were all worried about getting all these different barrios together, showing their tattoo work without killing each other.
and that was a Guadalajara convention. So Sergio was part of the Wesami.
He was the first one. Sergio was the first one to do the film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
yeah. Sergio did the first one to get the barrios together.
Uh-huh.
That was all Sergio.
Oh shit.
And Sammy did the show after
Okay.
that. Not right away. They're like maybe a couple of years after that.
Yeah. How many times did you do the Guadalajara show?
10 times.
And so you got to Mexico, and then you also said you went to.
Every year for a long time because Henry and I would go.
Uh-huh.
Dave Bobrick would go with us.
Okay.
David Cameron went with us. Yeah.
Oh man, so that was a good times in Mexico. And then you're the translator.
We all got okay.
And then you did you end up going anywhere to the Asia or uh China or anywhere else
Yeah, I tattooed a little bit in Thailand.
in Thailand? Yeah,
Tattooed some Buddhist monks.
cool. Oh, you guys had a Buddhist monk experience?
Yeah.
Who'd you go with on that trip?
Mr. G. Chinchilla.
Oh, okay. Mr. G, man, do you know that he's now that he's Mr. Well, he's been Mr. History, but they call him to do when they do movies and stuff. They call him for information and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, my apprentice also.
So you have more than one apprentice left and right.
Yeah.
And from that time to this time, you've seen the evolution of supplies and equipment and everything. It's almost changing on the monthly basis. Back in the day, it was changing, what, every year or something? Did you say?
Now it's all going electronics. Everybody wants to do it with different style of tattoo.
Yeah.
People don't draw as much anymore. Everything's done on the computer. It can work like a copy machine from the bottom of the design up. They never really see the design until it's finished.
Yeah, it's a whole different monster. It's weird how they do it. And also some people explain that it does less impact on the skin, working it that way.
Yeah. You're just making it get a temporary tattoo.
Those are the best ones, huh? They don't hurt at all. Those are the ones we recommend people to get.
I think there's some pretty wild stuff on people's body, but I have, oh, it has to be in a couple of years to see how it holds up.
Oh yeah, well,
A lot of it's way too dark, and a lot of it's too detailed to hold. Detail.
the whole tattoo industry is
They got to remember that everybody's doing stuff like they're working on a piece of canvas. But the canvas is stay the same forever. Skin changes. It gets old. Skin is a liar. When you put on there today, a couple of years, you're going to have some.
we're back trying to finish up the last of this podcast. We keep getting interrupted, all kinds of things happening. But if anybody wants to get a little bit of tattoo history or want to know a little bit of what happened back in the day in the West Coast tattooing and the San Francisco area, would you say?
Yeah, Northern California.
The Northern California area. If you're interested in knowing the history, contact Bert. How can they get a hold of you, Bert? You got an Instagram?
It's tattoos and Gmail.
Okay. That's your email. You don't have an Instagram? What do you do? You got a Facebook? Look him up on Facebook. He's too popular for Instagram right now. But maybe one day we'll set him up with an Instagram, but that's just another fucking headache. How do you think about this social media, homie? Does it help? Does it make it worse?
Can't get your story out there, but they like personal contact.
If they want to come in and get tattooed and hear a good story, hopefully they put down their phone and ask you questions. Did you like it when people ask you questions, or was it something that you didn't like it? Well, how was that?
I like talking to people.
Is there any message or anything you want to tell any of your students out there or people that work under you or for you, you want to send them a hello?
Life is a gift. Get out there and live it.
Cool. And most of them are, or is there anybody that's been a little bit on the disappointing side?
Some kind of positive experience. I don't talk about it.
All right, we're gonna say goodbye because we gotta concentrate and we're running out of battery. But this is the chairman and the artist. Today our guest is Bert Rodriguez. Look him up if you're interested in learning history. Whether you like it or not, he's part of history. He's done a lot for the industry. And say goodbye, homie.